This is a spoiler alert. A spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Endgame, turn off this video. Go see the film. Okay, so what I've done here is basically taken pictures of the film Avengers, and they're just key scenes that really stood out to me that had something to say about. So I just wanted to go over those, and this is basically a review of some sorts from my point of view of why the film was not any good, why I felt it was a bad film. I felt there was 2 hours of conversation and talking and about 50 minutes of actual action in an action film. And this is also what I felt about Captain Marvel, which was a drama character put into an action film, and it didn't work for me. It really didn't work for me. But let's stick to Avengers Endgame, and if I can be bothered, I may make a video about Captain Marvel. So this is no chronological order. This is just the pictures that have been taken, and we're gonna start. We're gonna try to start and try to get it in some kind of order for you. But we'll see what we can do. So the first scene, bright light, Tony Stark's bewilderment. He's been saved by Captain Marvel. For me, load of rubbish. This was just a way to cut and paste her into the film, like at a small amount. I think they knew we were fed up of her already. The Marvel franchise knew this character hadn't been working for a long time. It's amazing how they knew this, but they still tried to launch it. They still tried to force it on us, even though they knew. But anyway, this was rubbish for me. I didn't like that. Also, this part here, where they go to get Thanos, yeah. Someone's got his arm. Hulk, no, not Hulk. Yeah, it is Hulk in the Hulkbuster suit. He's got his arm. Captain Marvel, yeah, she's got his head. Can't really see. Not sure who's on the other arm. Brody, someone, but basically they've got him, and they're holding him. Again, we've seen him like this before, yeah. And you should have watched this film if you're watching this video, because this is obvious spoilers, and I'm talking about the film. So please, if you haven't watched it, come off of this video now. But look how they're holding him, yeah. And we know that Thor cuts his arm off. Why didn't they do this before? We've seen him in this position before when they had him on the planet, and Star Lord messed it all up by hitting him in the head, and they were trying to get the glove off his hand. But they could have cut his arm. They're gonna cut his arm here. Why didn't they cut his arm before? And Thor said again when he did it, he said, "Oh, should have gone for the head." But still, you could have gone for the arm. Anywhere, there's a lot of places they could have gone for and done this. That's why Infinity Wars was Infinity Wars. But there was a lot more action in Infinity Wars, which kind of leveled it out. But anyway, so she's on his neck, Hulk on his arm, yeah. And I had to take a picture of this part because it's just stupid to me, yeah. Like continuity in a big blockbuster film, yeah. Millions of dollars are being spent, billions of dollars are being made, and you can't follow through on continuity. Really, we don't understand what's going on. She's on his neck here, yeah. She's holding his neck here, yeah. She's on his back. We knew she was on his back here. Yeah, it is that guy, Rhodey, on his arm. But yeah, she's holding his back here. Then, do you see this? Because between the holding the back, we see Hulk getting angry, and then Hulk pushes. And she's not on his back anymore. How did she get off his back so quick? She's on his neck, on his back. This scene comes next where he gets angry and he pushes, and she's automatically not even on his back. Continuity, try to make it understandable and believable. That just stuck out to me straight away. And it's not a big thing, but it's like, yo, you spent that much money on the film, you could have done that. It wasn't that hard. Anyway, that push there where she's nowhere to be seen, but she was on his back. Like, I really paused it at that precise moment just to get that freeze frame so you can see, she's standing there and he's being pushed. If you've watched this film, you should have watched this film. It's after he gets angry, he pushes, yeah? And she's magically off his back. Moving on. This is when Thor cuts off Thanos' arm here. And people are like, oh, what's going on? Like, they don't know what's going on. blam, he cuts off the arm. Should have gone for the head. Yeah, as I said, you cut off his arm there. You could have cut off his arm last time. That would have stopped him anywhere other than his chest. You know, where you threw your hammer, your axe. Sorry, and we got Captain Marvel looking out of place, as she really does in the whole Marvel universe. Then we through to the Hulk part. Yeah, this for me was like one of the funny parts. Yeah, like, all right. First of all, it was a stupid part because how are you explaining how Hulk and Banner became one? You put him in a chamber and he became one like that. Like, as I said before in another video, I'm not a nerd, yeah, and this is not a disrespect. The understanding I have of a nerd is to know everything about this kind of stuff, and I don't know everything about this. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn some more about the whole understanding of the Marvel universe and all the characters that are involved, yeah. And I feel sorry for the real nerds because they know that's not how Hulk and Banner came together. I know that's not how Hulk and Banner came together, but this is what they put together as a story for us. I don't know wherever in what comic book or what cartoon this actually happened, or if they just wrote this in, you know, R.I.P. Stan Lee, because I feel Stan Lee gave the film's direction. I feel Stan Lee might have been coaching the stars, you know, to do certain things in certain ways, and people may have been fed up of him or whatever. But you can't deny when he was around, the films had a bit more flavor than Endgame. Endgame was a bit more bland for me. Less action, a lot of talking. I didn't see that in Infinity Wars. I saw more action in Infinity Wars. And Stan Lee in Infinity Wars, we've got a quick sharp view of Stan Lee in Endgame. But that just showed how much I think the limit of what they put on him in this film just showed how much of his influence went into it. Anyway, this is one of the most funniest part in the films for me anyway, where Hulk's telling them to have a picture with Ant-Man and the kids are smiling and saying, no, they don't want to take a picture. That is like one of the funniest parts, and that's saying a lot about this film when I can think that's one of the funniest parts about this film. Yeah, because I haven't heard a lot of people slating this film. A lot of people, YouTube critics with a lot of viewers are saying that this is a great film and it's a brilliant way that they wrapped it up, but I don't feel so. I feel like this is one of the most memorable parts of the whole film because the film was bland, like Captain Marvel, and maybe it's part of her being involved in it, but it was bland. Another part that made me laugh, how Stark drove past Captain America, and how they patched up things. I thought it would have been a bit, a bit more intense for the patch up, but whatever. And then I don't know. I'm gonna have to get some comments in here, but I just feel that Rocket is a lot taller than he used to be. No, yes, no. Rocket's a lot taller than he used to be, and also, even though Banner has embodied like the Hulk, he's even a bit more smaller. The sizes here, differentiation between the sizes is just a bit, a bit weird for me. And Rocket looked a lot different in this one as well. I think they put a bit more work into him, which was a bit more noticeable. But you know, I guess it's just part of the effects and making things look better. That was a funny scene with Fat Hulk. I mean, Fat Thor. And again, just looking at Rocket's size, you can see here, Rocket, the Thor's waist, and he's pretty much the same on Banner as well. Even though Banner was standing how high, above Thor. Look, that's Banner's head up here. You see where the line goes? Thor's down here, and Rocket's at his waist. But here, Rocket's pretty much at the waist, which would leave us to believe that Rocket should be about the size of Hulk's knee. But he seems much taller. Little continuity issues that big blockbusters shouldn't really have, but anyway. Here we have Hawkeye when we see that he's changed into, what they call him, Ronin. Yeah, Ronin. I think just here he's just realizing I'm still a shit character. It doesn't matter if I have a sword or a bow and arrow, I'm still a shit character. But he does bring a little comedy to it, I must say. He's done his fair share in the past. He is a good actor also, but this is mainly reflecting on Marvel, I guess. Like, anyway, next, what we're gonna go to? Yeah, Ant-Man. I felt he was picked on quite a lot in this film. I don't know why, but they picked on him quite a lot in this film. Like when Rhodes came back as well and landed in front of him, says, "Oh, that's regular size guy," and Rocket's patting his head here. I felt they picked on him a lot, and I'm not sure what that was about, but I could see a little bit of bullying. A lot of people did, yeah, gang up against him. Um, yeah, this is when the most action started for me in the film. I don't even know how long it had been in the film, but yeah, Hulk doing his little. This is Hulk and Banner, he's trying to be smashing like Hulk, but he's not really putting his energy into it. Little tried to be funny, but could have done something else. I feel like where where was Stan Lee? Did he really pass by the time they got to this part of the film? It's sad. I think a lot more input would have come into it. And this scene here with Hulk being knocked out, sorry, Banner being knocked out of the Hulk's body is a bit weird for me. Because here, they've shown that Banner, who's now in the Hulk's body, is not that angry and he can control himself. Yeah? He doesn't even want to smash anything. But when it comes to this person, sorry, I've forgotten the name, but yeah, when it comes to Doctor Strange's teacher, he feels he can walk up to her and snatch the amulet off of her neck. And this is not really the same guy that we saw here who didn't want to smash things, who was pretending to smash things. Why is he this docile guy here that didn't want to smash things and become so forceful in this scene to have to get knocked out of his body? He came in a forceful way against somebody who wasn't like showing any force, who wasn't attacking him in any way, but he approached in an attacking way. That was another piece that just stuck out to me because it was such a contrast between moments earlier how he was acting and then how he's acting in this scene. But anyway, remember, these are just my views. This is what I'm thinking about this film, and it doesn't really mean anything. It's just my view. You may share the same views, you may not share the same views, but this is my view, and I just had to say it. Like, I've heard a lot of moaning on the topic of Endgame and about how LGBT was not represented properly in the film of Endgame. And for me, really, only kind of start hearing these kind of arguments and this nonsense when a film hasn't done what it was supposed to have done. Yeah, if the film had made the money it was supposed to make and people were happy with the film that they were seeing, you wouldn't hear the complaints. I didn't hear many complaints um, about Infinity Wars, but I'm starting to hear these complaints about Endgame. And this scene here, especially, just shows that, all right, you want to say they weren't respecting, they didn't add anything about that. There's a scene that I missed out where Captain America is hosting the group with other people, and there's a gay man in there talking about he was at a date with another guy. Is that not representing LGBT? That was Captain America talking to one of his people in his sorry, I forgot in his group. Yeah, in his group about people who have lost people. Yeah, so they were saying the guy was saying he was gay and he was on a date with his boyfriend, and they both started crying. Is this not representing LGBT? And then this scene here, this scene, look at Tony Stark's face. In this scene, what is he looking at? Cap's ass. This is the scene where Tony Stark looks at Cap's ass, yeah, and says to Cap, "Ah, the trousers didn't do anything for you, yeah. Those trousers weren't doing anything for you." And look at the eyes that he's, the gaze. Like, sorry, I didn't say the gaze. I said the gaze, like his look, yeah, of I don't know what kind of look he's giving, but he's looking at Captain America's bottom. And he told Captain America, "Oh, those pants didn't do anything for you." And Captain America even says, "Why are you looking? No one ever asked you to look at my bottom, Tony. Why are you looking at my bottom, Tony?" Yeah? I understand this is the setup for the joke because later on, when Cap comes with his joke about that's America's ass, that's funny. Yes, that is funny, but I just think they could have introduced it in a different kind of way. Do you understand what I mean? Like, that was out of character for me and Tony Stark. I'd never seen Tony Stark talk like this before. Tony Stark took the piss out of Captain America, yeah, but he never really talked about his bottom like that. He never talked about anyone's bottom like that, but it just seemed to just blurt out of his mouth here. It was just something in his head. And yeah, again, when you're talking about, oh, was LGBT represented? Of course, they're talking about these kind of things, innit? I don't understand where this came from, but you can say, yeah, that was put in there for that, you know? Oh, some guys may like Captain America's ass and want to see it, so they put that in there. You know, they had a gay guy in it as well, you know, talking about gay and stuff like this. I didn't hear that in Infinity Wars. There was no talk of any gay people in Infinity Wars about anybody who was gay. There was no talk of anybody's body parts by any other male. There was none of that. But they've placed it in this film, and yet still people are complaining about it. But this is the thing that you have to remember. The complaints, even though they say it's about this, the truth is the film was crap. Yeah. And now they're gonna try and blame it on something else other than the people who made the film were crap. Yeah. I'm not saying the actors. Apart from Captain Marvel, I am passionate about all these actors. I'm passionate about these films. Like, these guys have done what they've done for how long, and I've watched all of these films because it's been interesting to me, because they've brought me in on the journey, and I felt like they have told me the story from their acting perspective. Now I'm not feeling that anymore. Endgame, yeah, it was the end of it for me. That literally was the end of the game for me, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna go see another Avengers movie with that kind of excitement. I'm not sure. But anyway, so yes, that's the out of character Tony Stark for me anyway, talking about Cap's ass. Then got for this scene I took a picture of because I believe this was before he got his hammer. Before he got his hammer back. And I don't know why he got his hammer back. Okay, it's a good visual effect. Like, yeah, he's got a hammer and the axe, but maybe he was missing the hammer. Okay, fair enough. He was missing the hammer. He just wanted two weapons, I guess. But in another way, it was more of a setup. This is how they set up the Captain America part, and they had to bring it in some way. So they thought, just bring it in. I feel if Stan Lee was alive, there would have been a reason for all of these bits and pieces that happened. These, for me, unexplainable bits, like why people did things. Because I feel when Stan Lee was alive, we kind of understood what the character was thinking when they made their movements. In Endgame, I didn't understand what nobody was thinking when they did what they did, or why anything happened. Anyway, had this part. And you know what? For me, we've got forgotten her name, Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, what's Black Widow? Yes, yes, yes. See, I'm not a nerd. I do watch these things. I do like these things, but I'm not. I don't have all the knowledge. Yeah, this is just from my perspective of a person who's interested in it, but not deeply engrossed in it. Yeah, and Scarlett Johansson for me, yeah, she's been doing the job. Everyone's been talking about, oh, we need the Captain Marvel, blah, 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 blah. Scarlett has done the job. She's given us, yeah, all the action we needed and more. And Captain Marvel hasn't done this. So this is like a little scene here that I thought was a bit annoying with her and Clint, and I think maybe Clint should have died instead. I think she had more to give to the MCU than Clint did. I don't know if they're gonna let him drink the Ant-Man syrup and turn big and turn into Goliath, or what future they hold for him and this guy with a sword that goes killing everybody. I'm not sure, but Hawkeye, yeah, I feel that Black Widow should have survived, because Hawkeye doesn't really have a future for me. He's got the funny lines, but in real hero aspect, he's not one of the greatest. And it was proved. She beat him. Yeah, if he was stronger than her, he would have died. But she was stronger and smarter than him, and she died. So she should have survived. Anyway, then we got this part. I took a few pictures of this part. 2 hours 27 minutes into this film, yeah, they got this scene, and everyone's talking about, yeah, this is the scene where all the chicks, yeah, what they call them, 18. I don't remember. In the Avengers, they had a team of all the female superheroes. I forgot what it was called, but someone will know. And it seems like, yeah, they tried to, yeah, recreate that right here, innit? They brought everyone together, and I like the way that Bumblebee, and Girl's girlfriend, I like the way that she just embiggened and came out and put in her gloves and she's ready to do some action. And I did like that, but when you think about it properly, it's because of Captain Marvel. When Captain Marvel came, then all the women came out of the woodwork and all of this kind of stuff, and they all stood out. I think, yeah, this is maybe just me, my way of looking at things, but I think that was actually a kind of a put down. That was a bit of a rude thing that they did, because what are we expected to believe? Are we expected to believe that all of these women were standing around not doing anything and just waiting for Captain Marvel to come? Because before she came, they were supposed to be fighting. How did they all end up in this same spot, in this position, ready to fight, not fighting anyone, not doing anything? And then look, we got the whole horde of fucking Thanos' crew running at them. Whole bunch of Thanos' crew running at them, and they go for Thanos' crew, yeah. A whole bunch of them, whole bunch of Thanos. Look, we know that one. This guy here, we know he's one of the top ones. I swear that's that girl there, one of the top ones, yeah. The other one got stamped on, but the top ones are at the front, yeah. And they've been fighting. We've seen this guy fighting, yeah. And what are we expected to believe that all of the women in the MCU, when they came back, they were just standing in one spot waiting for Captain Marvel, yeah. And when Captain Marvel came, they decided to fight. I thought it was a bit of a violation, to say these bitches been standing around and they weren't doing nothing till Captain Marvel came, and they were like, oh yeah, girl power. Why weren't they fighting before? What were they doing before? I'm sure they were involved in something before. They weren't just waiting around for this woman. But anyway, I liked the scene of it, but I didn't like the understanding of it. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. The understanding was that they were just all standing around, because when she came, they all appeared right there. What had they been doing before? Were they just standing around? But anyway, moving on.